Welcome to A Hill's Book Reviews and Movies Too, where it's all about the reviews. Some good, some bad. We'll tell you about it so you don't waste your time on it or so you can enjoy it. You can contact us at bookbyahill.blogspot.com. We would love to hear about the books you've read or movies that you've seen lately. Now, let the reviews begin with your host, A Hill.
Hello, my book lovers and movie watchers. Welcome to another great episode of A Hill's Book Reviews and Movies Too with your host. You know me, folks. My name is Hill, and welcome. Today we're going to talk about a book, and I got a movie for you. Yay! I haven't had a movie for you in a long time, but we're going to talk about it. First, let's get to the book. No, first, how are you today? Me, I'm preparing for a snowstorm because I live in New York City and it's Saturday night and we're supposed to get this major snowstorm, which I'm still a skeptic. Okay, when every time the news people say major snowstorm and all of that, we get a little bit of snow and people react. You know how people do. When the news gives you all this, it's doomsday and it's going to snow and, we're having all this, people just go out and panic. So that's what they're doing. They're panicking because we're supposed to have this big snowstorm. Anyway, that's not why we're here. We're here to talk about books and movies, something that makes us feel good and not put us in a panic. Today's book is by one of my favorite authors, Frida, and the book is Want to Know a Secret by Fredia McFadden. I like Frida's books, but to be honest, I'm reading one now called Lieutenant. It's okay, and I'll review that for you later on. Frida's books now to me are hit and miss. Some are good, some are very good, and some are like, okay, Frida, you kind of, it's like pulling teeth for me to read them. But overall, she's still a good author because she does thrillers. She always leads you down one path, and it's at the end, it's a totally different path you should have walked down. So she's still good in my book. Some of her books again are hit and miss. But we're talking about Want to Know a Secret by Freida McFadden. The book basically is about this woman, April Madison. And she lives in the suburbs with the rest of the little housewives. And she cooks and she bakes and she's part of the PTA. And her husband works. And all these housewives are rich and they don't have to work because their husband does all the working. They just have to look good, take care of the kids, and be the perfect little housewife. Okay? April is that. April is the perfect housewife. Then her life starts to get crazy when somebody tries to get her. And the story goes in detail how April tries to figure out who's out to get her. While being privileged and entitled, and her friends are just like her, but she still has this deep suspicion that someone's out to get her. There are a lot of twists and turns in this book, like a normal McFadden book. And because you never see the ending, like I always say, reader makes you read and think you're going one path, and then boom, she hits you with no, that wasn't the path she should have went down. All the characters and You Want to Know a Secret are just like April. They cheat, they lie, they gossip, they backstab each other. It's a typical rich housewives situation. Okay? The story, in my opinion, my personal opinion, is okay. I've read better on Fritter, and it does keep you reading. And April and her little catty friends and the little stuff they do because they're little housewives and they don't have to do anything else, but just like I said, be pretty and take care of the kids and do the PTA and all that kind of stuff. And then when the craziness starts coming around and everyone's pointing fingers at everybody and nobody knows what's going on, and April herself starts doing some crazy stuff, that's when it starts getting interesting to me. 9 out of 10, the book, 1 out of 10, the book, I give it a 5. Okay, the story was okay. The characters were basically all privileged, rich women Husbands, same thing. Some of them just didn't have a clue. And they were just, and the kids were bratty too. So it's a typical rich society kind of thing going on. Rich housewives, suburban stuff going on. The movie, like I said, before I get to the movie, McFadden's books are pretty good. Like I said, read The Teacher. The Teacher was good, but I will review that for you too. The Prisoner, I expected more from that book from her, and it was okay. It wasn't as good as The Teacher, but like I said, McFadden, don't sleep on Frida. Frida pretty daggone good. She's thriller, psychological craziness in her books. The movie, the movie I watched the other night was called The Lover Upstairs, and you can get it on Tubi TV. And it's a true story. It's probably, I think, maybe in the 20s or 30s this was, because they were doing like the 20s and 30s dances, but don't quote me on it because I'm not sure exact what era, but it was before prohibition. Excuse me, before prohibition. So I think that was in the 20s. Anyway, it was about this young woman, and she married this man for his money, and he was very abusive, and he wasn't good looking, but she didn't want to be poor. But this happened to be a good looking woman. And the story is basically the same story that we hear all the time. She meets this guy, and the guy is like 17 when she meets him, and that heifer keeps him in the attic, her attic, until he's got to be like in his late 20s, early 30s. She keeps him as her secret lover. And I'm sorry, the movie goes on to show how their love progressed and how her husband never knew that she had a lover upstairs. So when he go to work, he come down from the basement, from the attic rather, and they do their thing like they were husband and wife. Lover in the attic is so good. And the crazy part is, like I said, it's based on a true story from the 20s and 30s. It's worth a watch. I watched it yesterday and it was really enjoyable. The way the young guy went through all the changes of being up in the attic because he really loved her, but she was a user. The woman was a user, and he did everything for her, and there was a lot of suspense, a lot of drama, and a lot of you didn't see what was coming. And it was typical of a lot of stories that you see now of the way these women use these young boys to do their bidding and basically to get them in the situation they want to be in, minus the husband they to marry. You know what I'm saying? So, Lover in the Attic, Tubi TV, is worth it. And what made it more crazy? It's a true story. And again, a lot of stories that you read either in the newspaper or watch on TV is about the same. Is about the same. These women taking advantage of these young guys like this. So it's worth the read. Anyway, we talked about two good things. The movie that we just talked about, The Lover Upstairs, or The Lover in the Attic. It was The Lover Upstairs, I think. Or The Lover, I think it was The Lover in the Attic. Sorry. And the book, Want to Know a Secret by McFadden. What are you reading? Is anything good? And if it is, you know a sister want to know about it. You know where to find me. Books by A Hill at blogspot.com. I'm always into reading books. Good books, bad books, books, period. Because I want to read them and review them for you right here. So let a sister know what you're reading and also let a sister know what you are watching. On that note, have a great day. Be blessed. Be safe. Thank you for being here and do me a favor. Read a good book for me. And until next time, folks.